if they did go through with circumcision were for health or hygiene. That was number one, about 44%. The next most common reason was to be similar to they gave.
So to be similar to the father is the next one. You should got cut off a little bit on that one. So this is, we really need to highlight how delusional our medical professionals are, how outside of reality, common sense, anatomy, medical science, biology, the fundamentals of biology completely debunk circumcision. The idea that we have to cut parts off babies to be healthy is utterly ludicrous. It's psychopathic and it's actually stupid. The medical excuses these quacks use to mutilate babies are nonsensical, irrational, ridiculous. They make no sense. They're not even slightly convincing. To mutilate a child for a reduction in a rare, easy-to-treat infection like a UTI that little girls get 10 times more than little boys is an absolute lie. It's just absolutely ridiculous. The medical lies that these people will espouse are just dumb. And to say that it's health or hygiene, mutilation started as a marking for slaves. Egyptians used to circumcise the men so that they couldn't escape and hide amongst the population as a free man. They would be exposed because their genitals were mutilated, and all they had to do was look at their penis and they could find out, oh, this one's a slave. Let's send him back to the slave market. He escaped. That's what started circumcision. Because if they castrated their male slaves, that reduced the value of their livestock because you couldn't reproduce. Well, we don't want to stop them from reproducing. We just want to mark them as slaves, and we want to degrade them so that they're seen as lesser by our society. And that's what circumcision was, and that's what started it. So Jewish men who became Egyptian slaves were also mutilated. These men, just like American men, just like FGM victims, just like other victims of genital mutilation, they have a very strong psychological need to deny the damage of their genitals, which is common sense. Men don't just go around saying, hey, my penis is crippled, I'm damaged and less pleasurable than other men. So that's not a good strategy for men. That's just not going to happen. So anyways, this quack is using the most ridiculous excuses to look like the father. Hygiene. Come on, lady. Squat over a mirror. Appreciate what you have protected by federal law. You sit on far more health damaging genitalia. You are far more likely to get a UTI, thousands of times more likely to get a yeast infection. You're more likely in a given unprotected sexual encounter to get an STD. It's easier to transmit an STD by depositing something, isn't it? Doesn't it make more sense? So the idea that this reduces STDs or HIV or anything at all is complete and utter nonsense. These are lies, so these quacks can profit off the torture and sexual assault of helpless babies. And this is Dr. Ellen Forbes, a urologist, no less. The sad part is these people are masquerading as medical professionals. Let's go look at this person's page, and you can see MD, moms taking anxiety out of pregnancy. What about the anxiety the baby feels when his genitals are mutilated, and the anxiety he's going to feel the rest of his life because his brain was damaged and he's emotionally disturbed because he has an adverse childhood experience and PTSD that he doesn't even ever realize should be attached directly to his genital mutilation from this quack, Dr. Sarah and Alicia, who sit on their own prepuce while cutting it off of babies for pseudoscience lies, taking anxiety out of pregnancy. How about we stop mutilating babies' genitals, creating babies with anxiety? Isn't it anxious for the mother to have to deal with a scar or a wound on her child's genitals, to have her baby taken from her and tortured and mutilated in front of her while she gives it no protection? What do you think that does to the psychology of the mother who's been forced to watch their children be mutilated for years and years and years over this entire cultural disgusting evil, this disgusting cultural norm? Let's follow her link tree. Let's see. This is the best and brightest we have in America. This is the level of quacks we have. They got little pink things, or, oh, we're mothers. We're going to discuss anxiety and pregnancy and talk about our little babies. And then we're going to torture them and mutilate them and sexually assault them so that we find them more sexually attractive because we think an anteater is disgusting. Wow. This is Pregnancy and Parenthood podcast series. You think they're ever going to have me on their pregnancy and podcast series so I can expose their truth of who they really are deep down underneath the lies and all underneath this pink website and this Instagram? This makes them look so sweet, and newborn sleep 101 courses. I'll tell you what, if you torture and mutilate babies, you cause them to have altered sleep patterns. You give them nightmares. You make them colicky. You make them cry more often. You make them more anxious. You cause more anxiety in the mothers. You are literally creating the anxiety you're lying about preventing. It's absolutely garbage, these people. I can't believe I even have to say this stuff. This is crazy. This is psychopathic. She found motherhood. Mothers don't mutilate the genitals of their children. Mothers have what's called mammalian protective instincts. And that would preclude them from torturing and mutilating their children. What we have in America is egg donors. These are not mothers. These are not doctors. These are ductors. Ductors that go quack, quack, quack. These are psychopathic, child-mutilating quacks. And it's time to expose them, wrapped up in a pretty package with a nice little rose and a kiss on top.